together for a long time.
Yeah, we've been together for about 18 years.
Do people ask you why you're not married?
Well, you never know. But, no, I don't like questions like that.
What do you find most attractive about Bob?
He's got one of the most wonderfully inquisitive minds, I think, of anybody I've ever met. And he's compassionate. He cares about things. He also cares a great deal about his career. He's got a wonderful sense of humor.
How do you think Bob will describe you in a few minutes here?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know. Nothing would surprise me, though.
Coming up, Robert Foxworth. For 6 years, from 1981 to 1987, Robert Foxworth was known by millions of TV viewers as the hard-working, upstanding Chase on Falcon Crest.
Well, so what do I owe this visit? No, let me guess. No longer satisfied that my pilot's license has been suspended, you now want my driver's license as well.
Oh, we've had our share of conflicts.
By my count, we've had more than our share of conflicts.
He was always battling the scheming Angela Channing for control of the winery.
The important thing is that you can count on my help however and whenever it's needed.
I'll try to keep that in mind.
Robert Heath Foxworth was born in Houston, Texas, 51 years ago. His father owned a roofing company, and his mom was a writer. When Robert wasn't on a horse, he was acting. He landed his first stage role at the age of 9, and by the time he was 30, he was starring on television. In 1973, he played the lead as the Mad Doctor in the TV movie Frankenstein.
Otto! Is it land?
The next year, Robert met Elizabeth Montgomery on the set of the film Sundance.
Some gift. That's all I got for you. An hour of time if I'm lucky. I ain't been yet. I'm due.
Their romance on-screen fanned the fires for a love affair off-screen. In the late 70s, Robert played the inept co-pilot in Airport 77. In 1980, he got outstanding reviews for the movie Black Marble. But the film bombed at the box office and put a damper on Robert's movie career. However, most of Robert's professional accolades are for his stage work. He just recently received standing ovations and rave reviews for his performance in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. You really had a very varied acting career. Could have been much different, though. I know you turned down the role of J.R. in Dallas.
Yes.
That is just amazing.
Yeah, isn't it? Well, I mean, that's one of the greater stupidities I've ever done. However, the original script that I was submitted was much different from what eventually came of the role. And J.R. was not this major character. And I'm convinced, and I must be convinced, otherwise I'll go insane, that Larry Hagman made of J.R. what it was, and I could never have done it.
Well said, well said. You also turned down a role on MASH.
Well, that was another stupidity. I had friends who were in the film of MASH and knew how it was made, and I thought, you can't do a half-hour show like this. And I made the mistake of saying that to the producers when I went in for my first meeting. I think they were very interested in me until that moment, because they knew they could do it, and boy, they were right, weren't they?
What made you take the role on Falcon Crest?
Money.
I like honesty. It's good.
No, I was, frankly, I was pretty hungry at the time.
Were you thinking about the two roles that you had turned down, though, on Dallas?
Perhaps that had entered my little tiny brain by that moment. But I had also recently done a feature film in which I got the kinds of reviews you pay your mother to write. And it was a commercial failure, and consequently I became persona non grata in the feature film world. So when this came along, I thought, you know, I got kids who are going to be going to college, and I better do something here. So I did it, and also I liked the company, and I liked the group that were involved with it.
I've spoken with a lot of actors who have stage background and then make the move to television and films and TV movies. And some of them say that they had a lot of trepidation at first. because of the fact that it's just, you know, are you giving up those roots, the classical roots? Did you ever feel that way?
Well, I suppose somewhere deep in my soul I felt that way, but on the other hand, I was poverty-stricken and had 2 children and was living in a little tiny apartment in New York, and when the first opportunity came, I took off. I went for it very quickly, so it was not a big problem until later when I felt like I had, to some degree, betrayed my roots and my training.
A TV movie coming up called With Murder in Mind. How was it working with Liz?
Oh, it was impossible. She is so difficult to deal with.
I saw that. I just interviewed her.
Did you? I mean, you understand what an impossible situation it must have been. No, it's great working with Liz because she works very hard. She's a consummate professional, and she's extremely talented. Her ability to analyze material, I'm just knocked over by. I mean, she really knows how to crack open the meaning of a script and a scene. And I really enjoy working with her. And also, we don't have to go through the whole nonsense of getting to know one another, which is great.
You and Lizzie have been together for 18 years now.
18, 19. We're creeping up on the big 2-0 together.
Really?
Yeah, and if she doesn't marry me by then, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Have you asked her to marry you?
Oh, probably every couple of years.
Really?
Yeah.
And why do you think she's scared of that?
I know an awful lot of people who have lived together for a great deal of time, and they get that piece of paper and have their little ceremony, and within a period of time, it's over with, and you know, it makes you wonder. I think one of the things that we have found, I won't speak for her, but for myself at any rate, I think one of the things is that we don't take one another for granted under these circumstances. And I'm not saying that marriage does that or that all people who are married do that, but both of us having been married before, I think, perhaps had some feeling about that.
You guys are both, you and Liz are both very articulate, very good actors. I would imagine that you have some great fights. Well, because you're both so good at expressing yourselves.
Can we say arguments?
Yes, we can say arguments, that's sure. Who usually wins?
I usually win.
Oh, you're in trouble.
But wait a minute,
Important safety tip, don't ask her to marry you after this interview.
That's right, truly. I say that advisedly. I mean, I may win the argument, but that doesn't mean I don't pay for it, and that she doesn't win in the long run. No, I'm not sure we actually argue to win. I think we argue to eliminate some difference, and hopefully we do.
How would Elizabeth Montgomery describe her man, you?
I think she would describe me as difficult.
Which parts of you do you think are difficult?
Well, I think I pick at things. I worry about a lot of things. I tend to try to analyze things, for the sake of breaking them down to find out what makes them work, kind of thing.
What else other than difficult?
I think she would describe me as being irritating. So we've got difficult and irritating.
Self-deprecating, we'll throw that in. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, actually, that is one. Yeah, self-deprecating. I really don't know. I mean, I know that she loves me, and I know that she likes me, and she, that's one of the things I'm not going to analyze too much and try to crack open, because as long as it's there, I'm real pleased.
So how would you describe Lizzie?
I would describe her as perhaps the most intelligent woman I've ever met. And one of the things that makes that bearable is that she has a fabulous sense of humor, besides the fact that she's beautiful and sexy.